Why gold's long track record is no match for Bitcoin. It truly is the horse versus the automobile. Brandon Gentile here. A comment I received in a recent YouTube video about central bank digital currencies. Quote, the Bank for International Settlements, the central bank for central banks, owns all the transaction platforms, hardware and software for all the crypto assets. Crypto assets. The only decentralized money is gold and silver. Ah, yes, I did think that was true 12 years ago when I got out of politics into the sound money game. I came into sound money through gold and silver, through that vector, first politics and then through gold and silver. After studying sound money for 10 years and then studying Bitcoin, once I found it about 4 or 5 years ago, it changed everything for me. That's when I truly saw that Bitcoin was the only answer to cross the chasm and take the power back for the people. And again, just to tell you another quick story, the thing that I had found was that for being in politics from 2000 to 2000, we'll say 10-ish to 12, somewhere in there, I realized that we are in the Coliseum. It was truly bread and circus. It was red and blue. And what I figured out now through Bitcoin is what helped me figure this out truly. And I understood it intellectually, and I understood it really in the back of my mind, but Bitcoin is what helped bring it to the forefront. It's not red versus blue. It's the state versus you. You have to fix the money. I wasn't a Ron Paul fan in 2008 because I didn't understand Ron Paul. I liked what he was saying. I liked what he was saying, and the Fed, and many of the agencies, and the bloat and the bureaucracy and the deep state that was going on. He was one of the originals saying that in the political arena, and there was a reason that he didn't get to come to debates and things like that I see now in hindsight. And then you laugh at the John McCains of the world, and the Obamas and the Mitt Romneys that were just peddled out there. It's a reason that Sarah Palin, even though she's more of a political figure than she is a sound money advocate, there was a reason that she was so lambasted and had her character assassinated, because people like her, like Donald Trump, I don't care one way or another about these people, but the people that talk about getting rid of the deep state, the Ron Pauls, and maybe Rand Pauls nowadays, they are the ones that media either won't give them attention at all and try not to put them on the media at all, or they'll just character assassinate them. We have to ask ourselves why. That's what we try to do here at this channel all the time. All the time. Ask why. Question everything with boldness, even the existence of God himself. Thomas Jefferson. That is one of my favorite quotes of all time. So that's my quick foray, my backstory into this and why this is so important. Money affects every single aspect of everyone's lives. So by saying money doesn't affect me or I don't care about money, that's literally one of the dumbest things that you can do. And one of the most dangerous things you can do, because now you're putting power in the hands of people who are seeking power. That's not generally always the best thing. That's what government was set to do 250 years ago here in America. That's why it was exceptional. It was the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, because it gave powers to the people. It took them away from the ruling class, from the unproductive class, and put it back in the hands of the people. That's what we are doing with Bitcoin. The gold and silver crowd forever has been trying to do this, but there are problems with it, which we'll talk about in a moment. And I came in through that vector. I was that person, Valerie who said that. I was you. I did believe that was the case. We just had to go back to a gold standard. George Gammon talks about this too. Well, we just need to educate the most amount of people. Well, have you ventured into politics at all? Have you ventured into the mainstream at all? Have you ventured into social media? And I know George Gammon is in social media, but you're in these echo chambers. And he does have a experience in politics. That's why I'm not sure why he doesn't totally understand it. But just educating the masses really isn't going to do the trick. Someone said the other day, they said, I believe it was Nolan Bowerley, who was an unbelievable, probably one of the best Bitcoiners out there, been in Bitcoin for a decade plus. His channel, his YouTube channel, is a must-watch. He's a straight shooter right down the middle and talks about his experiences in the Canadian government and the American government in law and Bitcoin and politics. Fascinating. I mean, talks about things that just blow your mind in the way he can connect things. Is truly one of the best people out there. His channel's not big right now because he just restarted it, but it'll be massive in the coming months, the coming years here, because he is a mind really unlike anyone else's. So it's small right now, so you can talk to him and reach out to him. And again, he's one of those people that really helps you understand it's not red versus blue. It's a state versus you. And the deep state runs way deeper, way deeper than you can ever think. Greg Mannarino, I forget exactly why I was going on this tangent, but Greg Mannarino just made me think of something else, talks about if you had a vote, it wouldn't count. So just think about those things. Think about what's going on. We know about Hillary Clinton's Civil Society 2.0, all these non-governmental organizations, all of these IMF giving loans to World Bank, or giving loans to countries all around the world, developing countries, and then indebting them so they can tell them what to do and what they can't do. This stuff's been happening for decades and decades, a century. it goes back to Cecil Rhodes and ChatGPT, which we're going to do a video on this soon. I was breaking down their book, the book Tragedy and Hope, because the book is like, I don't know, 1,000 pages or 1,500 pages, but it's a history of really non-governmental organizations, Council on Foreign Relations, which is now, I believe, the UN, the United Nations, and Woodrow Wilson started that. So these people all have a hand, these massive ultra-collectivists, globalists, thinking they are smarter than you and they know life better than you do. This is, before I again go too far down the road, this is why the gold and silver debate really is dead. And it hasn't worked, because just trying to educate people, like I said, George Gammon coming back now, I kind of remember what I was saying, but George Gammon, it's just saying we need to educate people. Nolan Bowerley was saying, hey, I've been orange pilling people for 10 years, one at a time, once a week, or, one person a month, or one person a day. But Justin Trudeau orange pilled more people in the course of 2, 3, 4 weeks than I could ever do in my lifetime, 10 times over. And unfortunately, bad things have to happen. I've been saying this for a long time. I've been saying this for about 10 years, ever since between the 2008 and the 2012 American presidential election. I've been saying people aren't hurting enough. People don't understand. They're not hurting enough. They're just asking for government to do whatever it is that will please them, right? Sorry, I'm just changing my... All right, hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully you guys can hear me. So that is the crux of the really the entire system that's going on, the bread and circus, and the unproductive class having the power, because the money is broken. We don't have money. We have a currency. We don't have a money, right? That's why this is so important. So let's jump back into this. But remember, fixing the money, bad things need to happen, fixing the money. This is why gold and silver for 5,000 years has shown not to work. If gold and silver worked, we wouldn't be in this place. And the people, gold bugs and silver bugs, people thinking in terms of fiat, just think, oh, we can educate the population. Oh, we can just get into politics and that will help. The Libertarian Party, I was arguing, going back and forth with one of the Libertarian Party people on Twitter. Like, voting is not the answer, obviously. Vote, do your civic duty, do what we can do what we're enabled to do. At the end of the day, we must do more. We must vote with our feet and vote with our money. Bitcoin is the only discovery humans have made of digital scarcity that can cross space and time. Bitcoin is not crypto, and crypto is not Bitcoin, like Valerie said in that thing. That's why we don't promote crypto ever here. Those are all scams, affinity coins, just rug pulls, Ponzi's. That's garbage. Bitcoin is the only thing, and everything else is a copy off of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is open source. Anyone can copy it. You want to go change the code of Bitcoin? Go ahead, do it. You can go make your own coin. Make it better than Bitcoin and become bigger than Bitcoin. Good luck. Bitcoin is the solution, and the only thing that can't be captured by someone else unless you give up your keys. So it incentivizes peace. It incentivizes negotiation. Think about that. Even gold and silver have historically shown to be captured, generally because it is hard to move over space. Again, time and space, time and space. Gold does it over time, but it doesn't do it easily over space, and that's a problem. That's why it is shown to be captured, and that's why we're in the place we're in now. So gold and silver clearly isn't the answer. Trying to do the same thing over and over again with expecting a different result is insanity. So again, it doesn't matter what the track record is when you invent the wheel. Now it changes everything. When you invent fire, it changes everything. The horse stood no chance against the car. The horse breeders and the people owning them, thought, hey, well, what the heck? What's going on? Doesn't matter. Society is going to tell you what they want, and they will get what they want. It's only a matter of time, 10, 20 years, and all of a sudden, boom. You see New York City, like the old famous saying in New York City, they show, in the early 1900s, then 10, 15 years later, boom, there's cars everywhere, right? 10, 20 years later, that fast. They went all horses to all cars. Despite its short history, compared to gold, there are several reasons, again, why Bitcoin's age shouldn't be a problem. We're going to go into just some of these reasons other than some of the other stuff I just told you, right? Number one, rapid technological advancement. Like we just talked about the car and the horse, the world has changed significantly in the past few decades due to rapid tech advancement. As a result, newer technologies such as Bitcoin may be more relevant and useful in today's world than older technologies like gold. 2, limited supply. There's a limited supply of Bitcoin with only 21 million Bitcoin set to be created. This limited supply, combined with increasing demand, can drive up the value of Bitcoin over time. In contrast, gold has an almost unlimited supply, believe it or not. It has an inflation amount of 1 to 2% a year right now, but it can be mined from anywhere. It can be found in the sea all of a sudden off a shipwreck. It can be mined from the Earth or from asteroids or other planets, which we will be in someday. So what do you want to hold your wealth in? Make a fair trade for yourself. Your finite time should only be traded for something else that's finite. I believe that. I want to trade my finite time for only another asset that's finite. That's it. And I only know of two, Bitcoin and time. Number 3, greater accessibility. Bitcoin is more easily accessible to a wider range of people due to its digital nature. It can be bought, sold, and stored online, making it more convenient for people without access to traditional financial systems. In contrast, gold requires storage and transportation, costing you time and money, which can be difficult and expensive. Space and time are no problem for Bitcoin. Boom, instantaneously, speed of light, over space, anywhere, around the world, around the universe. And if you're, 10 billion light years away, then maybe that's a problem. You got to hold your seed phrase on you, your keys on you, I guess. But it's still, you won't have to travel all that distance with gold bars and silver bars, right? You'll be able to hold it in your hand or memorize the seed in your head, the passphrase in your head, or the keys in your head, I should say, the seed phrase. Again, time is no problem either. There are no storage fees for Bitcoin like there is gold and silver. Number 4, greater potential for growth. Due to its limited supply and increasing demand, Bitcoin has the potential for significant growth and value. The price of the margins is where price is determined, and that's where people are willing to sell. However, we know 80-90% of holders aren't willing to sell, especially right now, and that will probably continue for a while. So it means this will take a larger price, a large price from most Bitcoiners, meaning more and more fiat needed. Hence why, with a limited supply, it will just continue going up over time as governments print more currency as well. But that's still in today's terms, today's dollars. It's still going to go much, much higher in price. Fiat price, I should say. Gold investors are usually thinking in terms of fiat and not pricing life in ounces. Bitcoiners price their lives in Satoshis. I've never heard of a Bitcoiner or a gold or silver advocate pricing their life in ounces. Some do here and there, but not many. And again, here's a meme for the social layer. Again, showing 2010, 2020, 2030, 2040, where things are going, where things have been and where things are going. This is a new technology. It's an S-curve and what will happen. And just a progression of people, unfortunately, many people that don't see what the future entails. That's what this article is about. Number 5, the social layer. Bitcoin social layer is one of the strongest anyone has ever seen. A community built and building itself, which changes you once you become involved. I've been changed greatly over the last 4 years being involved in Bitcoin. The memes, the community, they're relentless. They truly are cyber hornets. It really rivals religions, quite honestly, as Michael Saylor has said about the cyber hornets. And it is a constant. This is one of my favorites. It is a constant. Bitcoin is a constant, meaning you can measure anything from Bitcoin. Like a kid in a science class, you were taught to only use one variable so you could figure out what works and what doesn't. Too many variables, you get poor results. Bitcoin is the first money that is finite and auditable, so you can verifiably measure everything in the universe from its monetary base, and the goalposts never move. Check out Knut Svanholm's book, Bitcoin, Everything Divided by 21 Million. And here is another great example of that book, but also Bitcoin being a constant. When you have a finite currency, a finite money, now you can measure everything in the world from this, and you know you're getting a true value. You can't measure anything. We know the price of everything, but the value of nothing, as Mike Maloney says, in this world we live in right now. Look at Palo Alto homes if you held in Bitcoin over the last 10, 12, 14 years. Just through the floor. You can afford many Palo Alto homes if you've been holding over the last 10 years, right? So that's the thing. You have to get in and hold as long-term savings, a long-term investment, 5, 10, 20, 50 years. And your life will continually get cheaper. As you see, if you held dollars in your savings account, you need more and more of those dollars just to acquire the same home. These kind of charts, what blew me away 4 years ago and completely changed my mind. You can do this with gold and silver as well, but the charts are undeniable when you price them in Bitcoin. This is a game changer. 7, demographics. The younger generations favor Bitcoin over 2-to-1 over gold and saving their wealth in Bitcoin. Do we think that trend will reverse? Do we really think that trend is going to reverse? That we're going to get less technologically advanced and the younger generations and Gen Z, the Zoomers, millennials, they're just going to say, you know what? Yeah, I want gold and silver. I want bars of gold and silver. Or they're going to say, absolutely not. I want this thing on my phone that I can pay anything within seconds, final settlement, no fees, a very minimal fraction of a penny, nothing attached. I can finalize my settlements. I just went through a real estate transaction the other day. It took days to settle, not even settle a title, that's going to take months, but just settle the wire. It took days. Bitcoin, that's done within seconds, and at most an hour to confirm 60 minutes on chain. If you're using Lightning for $100,000 or $50,000 or a couple $100,000, you could do it on Lightning. Boom, done within seconds. That's mind-blowing, mind-blowing, for probably less than a wire fee, a traditional wire fee, and you're confirming within seconds. Mind-blowing what's going to happen once we lean into the new parallel system being built. Ultimately, the properties that Bitcoin contains make it a far superior investment in my eyes. And these are just some of the things. I haven't even gone over everything. That's what's truly mind-blowing. And that's why I started from this political aspect from 2000 to 2010, and then the last 10 years was studying sound money. And I was a gold and silver guy thinking, hey, this is the way to go. And then Bitcoin came along 4 years ago for me and shattered that. So when you layer in these other trends on top of the properties, the trends, the demographics, and the properties, things start to become very obvious and clear. I changed my mind, and I'm always open to being wrong, having my mind change. Again, that's what we want to do here. We want to question everything. Bitcoin did that to me and opened my eyes. As Max Keiser says, you don't change Bitcoin. Bitcoin changes you. This is the separation of money and state. This is a sly, roundabout way, as Hayek said, getting around the unproductive class and taking control of the issuance of money and power and property rights, freedom, taking it back into the hands of the people, never to be given back again. Stay strong. Again, this is freedom advice, not financial advice. I appreciate you. Please like and subscribe. Share this if you feel compelled, if someone that you might enjoy it or might need to hear this. And if you don't like it, please let me know. Please let me know what you don't like, what you'd like to see going forward, and how we can better serve you and provide value and education for you. So I appreciate so much your time, energy. Again, it's like I said, every time, it's the most important asset we have. The only two finite things I know of are Bitcoin and time. Time is Bitcoin, Bitcoin is time then. If A equals B, then B equals C. So again, if we can find something else that's finite, let me know. I'm all ears. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.